Yedim say ye were two friendlies are ye bo China ye bo Nigeria Morocco. So far Murua Morocco training at the same players in aba e dey na course the Blackstars of Ghana camp and Ghana Fontaine kan.
No pay the old frame ya. They were hanging on say the form and senior Pia. Kosiada Ahomachi and Ajudo Sumuna, Ibu Yaketem di Free Ghana, and the it's Marrakesh. You withdrew already now. Yeah, she says, players no, almost free UK, any close by France, no, almost Iowa, Sabepena, Ecosia, Jordan Opa. As at the time I withdrew, now 13 players. So we say, Lawrence Atiziki Crowdy, a free, maybe our walk, Ebahano. It's just about 2 hours. It's here in the airport, arrangement. If on arrival, man, and I didn't free airport, Marrakesh airport, and the hotel away. And what you know, you know, and Tariq Lamptey, Jordan Ayew, Antoine Semenyo, Dennis Odoi, Abdul Salis Ahmed, almost also Ebeka and later no Captain Andre so Eba enti ade ebe Jordan na Emranti Abeka and I think later Abdul Fatah Ishaku so Eba enti ade ebe Jordan na Emranti Abeka Edumiansa 13 and you menu and Miansa Ebeka ho medium defender FNO Abdullah Nuruddin and Kotoko goalkeeper Frederick Asari so Ebeka ho enti as at Monday first training no we 16 and then the rest of the players, which numbered about 7, as also Ebeka Yensa, Ebitise Francis Abu, Ebenezer Anan, Edmond Ado, Osman Bukari, Ibrahim Osman, almost also Ebeka, and Baba Idrisu, as also Ebeka, that was Jordan Wanajo, and I feel Obia 23, Entino, and the at least a full size team, training Marrakesh Sports Complex. Facility. It has about 4 different training pitches. Into maybe a training, or 2 additional or one in Nigeria, so a training. And I think will be Remuswa, we say Uganda for so a training or facilities are hosting both Ghana, Nigeria, and Uganda. And of course, we are all engaged in this friendly matches. I had a book or BBIs here. So far, there have been series of meetings between a new head coach, Eduardo. He first of all met the staff and a vision to the staff, and then he laid down the rules, made us understand what he expects from us. It is very important. Even though we are rebuilding, there is also the need for us to remain disciplined and focused going forward. And then aside that, he also met the team, the full team, and and Oshia players, separately, Oshia staff, separately, and I feel all the staff, any players in one meeting, just to re-echo or reiterate some of the points I will raise here in the respective meetings. There was the opportunity for staff and the players to ask questions, make contributions, make an input whatsoever. But at the end of the day, we all have a common ambition, and that common ambition is because is that maybe baby papa, and so we all have to aspire to get to the top one more time, and that with notwithstanding, there will be challenges, there will be issues, will be and there will be a lot of conflicts sometimes. But at the end of the day, there is only one aim and that is to make the Blackstars great and strong again. The program is that as usual, breakfast. The one thing I say I'm a company a bit complex now. I'm running our fasting, a break fast. Now a drawn apart. Now arrested, and then during lunch they will appear, and during training they will also appear. It hasn't been easy, but I think for most of these players it is not the first time or almost fasting almost at the same time. Within the last 4 days since I drew and
very well. And the other technical staff now after the meeting, saying playing body, more especially debutant. In fact, I was going to ask about David Aklugu. Any midfielder Diamonde Mohamed names no copy Ivory Coast ne Bolivia demo respectively so far I know it is saying buy and I say
well as things stand I can tell you say those two players will not be part of your games way. What it is that it goes beyond football reasons. Sometimes when two players or the players of this quality are available, appropriate countries make attempt and as they make effort to get the services of these players. Just as the time you listed your squad, Diomandi had also been called up by the Ivory Coast U23. And Chichimuka Krewo say Abrantiano or both Ghanaian and Ivorian. The parents are split it. Bakuye Ghanaian, Bakuye Ivory Coast. And he is eligible to represent both countries, but he has the right to decide where to go. I think there is some sort of family issue kakra abeto since you name no Ivory Coast for so name no, and what he has said to us, they say he would need time because aside the football he needs his family as well, and he would need time to sort things out with his family at the appropriate time. If it is that there is an agreement for him to play for us, he will definitely love to play for us. Diomandi before Ansana making the name public, we reached very, very, very far. He was eager and anxious to play. In fact, he said he would not even think twice to play for us. But Sani Amakano, it goes beyond football reasons, and so we have to respect the decision in that regard.
Okay.
On the part of Akologo, yes, Akologo is a Ghanaian. He has been playing in Bolivia for some time now, almost sports and equality, and they also want to take full advantage of that. The technical team and then, of course, the FA reached out to Akologo. You're finding out if he is willing to represent us. He said yes, regardless of the fact he said Bolivia for a friend. That's still Nani Ajose or represent here. But these are friendly matches, even though he may not show up this time, the opportunity is not completely lost.
So are you saying these two players will represent womo countries are womo DP Ivory Coast Bolivia no you be womo countries friendly games no?
As things stand there, I can only speak for Ghana. I mean, what is happening on the other side. I don't know, say Akologo, Bebawa, Bolivia, and I said Diomandi ever represent the Ivory Coast. What I am aware, they say they will not be part of this camp for now.
Not just say confirmation of the Maya and then you're stronger because I don't think say as professionals as they are, be permission so be survey country, Mother Ghana, now later must have assurance to different countries. Now fair to us or any due diligence.
Well, me to me, fair. And then again, in terms of due diligence, I think we did a lot. We engaged them many times. Not only the FA, but as soon as we confirmed the technical team, they also spoke to the players. But I thought certain factors affect or influence the decision of players. If it is that they finally agree to play for us, that will be great. They will be great additions to the team. If it is that they later also decide, say, and they will continue their international careers elsewhere, we will respect that decision and move on. But a friendly window, and I think say the aim of player beyond say maybe Obekono, he's welcome. The conditions around and the family has entered a very warm welcome. Okay. We had laid down a very good, plans or preparation to welcome these players, just as we have done for debutants. Osman Ibrahim, Mone, Ebenezer Anan, Mone, Francis Abumo. It was going to be the same culture as we always have. But the players will not be part of us. Okay. And the only thing we can do is say, moving on, shift focus on and then the subsequent one against Uganda.
Very well. I'm saying build the team partner keep here a players Mohamed Kudus later say and say we are pulling out of these friendly games. Later to say a problem na Brantiano.
Well, before I make pull out now the aya normally a cost say coaches been in squad. Engage every single player whose name appear in the squad. Once they settle on the final 25 or 26 or 27, it's on standby, so you notify them.
Okay.
Before invitations go to the clubs, the players are spoken to. Now, in the case, for instance, Partey pulled out earlier because Okachi, the coach, said, we pray for a very long time, the longest injury he has had in his career. He's now getting back to full fitness and he needs time.
Yeah.
Until once we spoke to the player, we reached out to Arsenal and we agreed that he can stay. Obiso so to say,
Pinto.
Joseph Pinto.
Okay.
Joseph Pinto also pulled out because Afeina wako US. He traveled on a visitor's passport. Visa. Afeina Oyen a permanent stay in Juma, and he has immigration issues to sort out.
Okay.
John also said, then Inaki also reached out and also mentioned he has had consistent injuries in a very short period of time, but normally he was late to arrive when we were preparing for the AFCON because of an injury. It is since our return here, Felix pains on the idea. Whom say Samria when you be about 1 week or so, rest rather than to come and aggravate the injury. Until coaches also said then later, when we had West Ham notified us that Kudus was injured, technical team led by Otto engaged the player. On in the Kasai at length, over 30 minutes. What we initially wanted for him to come for integration and further observation, but in the end, Yanio Munina decided this is not you can say a do or die affair. A friendly match would have loved to have him, but once he's not fully fit, there was a man to stay, just as we have done to other players. That is the information we have on Kudus. And also on to me and Mekayensa. I think that Amate couldn't also make it, for which reason we hurriedly brought in Kasim Nuhu.
Okay.
Amate is also complaining of some pains in his knee, and immediately once the coaches agreed he should stay and continue treatment, we brought in Kasim Nuhu to fill that gap.
A problem. Yama obi adwuma foforo pa na open players now we put them together na ipra TTS na and auto account was say e be affecting the preparation and then the build up now person
Well, it is part of the sport. Sometimes at a very crucial point, we have key players, and that is the point I will say available. To him, the future is more important than now. These players will always be available provided he wants to continue bringing them in. And at this point, or again say, what's our dream home, but rather to concentrate on Omo because they are those who will play. And our situation is not too different from Nigeria, who also have issues of 4 players pulling out, Osimhen, any other key players pulling out. At this point of the season, when the season is at the back end, players are fatigued. Sometimes injuries occur. When the more you play, the more you are exposed to injuries. Some of these players were at the AFCON. Say, what target is over 70 games a season for your club. You leave the club, come to AFCON, different weather conditions, setups there, and also other factors are able to me. I expose you to all manner of injuries. As far as Otto is concerned, he thinks that we just have to focus on those who are here. Of course, those who are here of much quality. In this team, we have a blend of a lot of new players are more huge potentials compared to players are more HST national team football playing more in what it takes to wear the national colors. He thinks it shouldn't be a border. Once we are building for the future, that should be the main focus.
Meaning how I share the rivalry between Ghana and Nigeria. I'm talking about Otto. Now we are the interim George Finidi, NSA Ometinum, now one share almost a matchy. And now about Accra Hanma, African Games, so 400, Yanni Kutamedano, Ometrain. Now, before I qualify, call World Cup, you need a course. In fact, Chrome had Jollof Clara competition, Ghana Jollof, Nigeria Jollof, Nina competition. What you say, Ghana girls, Nigeria girls, and also I've had discussion. You go to our intimate setting. So, how is he approaching this friendly game? Do a friendly, approach Ben Opus, the echo, yes, again.
The approach is to give players confidence. The approach is to ensure that the players will go into the game without fear. Because in Nigeria, right, Barry, sometimes they wonder why a small country like Ghana able to be also in football, in other disciplines, just as you mentioned, and athletics. What the way and Black Princesses and also in the final of the African Games Women's Tournament. before we were able to qualify for Qatar 2022, we qualified at the expense of Nigeria. And this is going to be our first meeting since those two matches are in Kumasi and Abuja. And yes, there is a lot at stake. Many people are very much expectant. There are Ghanaians I know who are looking ahead to the new Blackstars and the new Jenny and Otto. But one key point is that we know, say, as we embark on this journey, and you might be pretty busy, and long-term contract, a contract that will, a journey that will be combined side by side, rebuilding or reconstruction, and then also winning games. Now, in rebuilding and reconstruction, you cannot win every game. If you are winning, if you are draw. But the most important thing is that you will keep your mind on doing the right thing. You will keep focused. You do not have to allow external factors to influence your thoughts and your decisions. And that is what he has said to the players. Whoever is giving the nod to represent the country in the games, it's not any brother. No, you have his full backing.
Okay.
And I think a very important message or the other players. And one key point that I also need to stress on the inclusion of Fatau and John Painter.
Okay.
And their integration with the team thus far has been amazing. I at least have had the chance to be around this team for the past 4 years, and meaning the contribution of every single technical brain who has come around. Obia on the qualities. I am not here to raise Obia and as a mid page. I say we will win him and now we will win him. But the individual qualities of John Pinto and Fatau is impeccable. They are here meeting. For instance, Otto granted approval for John to address the players, and sharing his experience with the players, making them understand what it takes to represent the country, telling them, say, you cannot win if you are not together. Of course, there is one example he gave. Like I said, player being out there anymore. Ghana lose too much. No player no kwa yaman winning bonus. Nankai for yama omubi because sadano sa player no kwa na ne modimbo e konkai echen ubia. And all hands were down. What it means is that it is not about individuals. It's not about who you are as in Meme Yasumesi, Miniwa Team Begu. But collectively, we win together, we take responsibilities together, we stay disciplined, we urge everyone on, we motivate everyone, and we win together. And once you win together, we'll be happy. Okay. And once there is that good chemistry and camaraderie, there is always a forward match for the team. Well. I think that so far things have been okay. And we are hoping that the outcome of these two games, the positives will overweigh the negatives.
Very well. But I have share pictures of your training near there. Which other technical staff in the work camp? Now I'm really saying, I was abroad for being to the DH. Hey, for no.
Okay. Just as we published, Otto has two. So let me say 3 assistant coaches. Joseph Lauman, who was born in Morocco. Later found himself in England. He played in Vietnam. He has managed. He also played for Barnsley in the Champions League for England.
That's right.
And he later found himself in Germany. And Rana, because hey, German for one also. Just on a lighter note, because yet one China and couple for
the Dutch legum.
The Dutch legum. Yes, he is the first assistant coach. John is the second assistant coach. Fatau Dauda is the goalkeeper's coach, but also he's an assistant coach because he reports to the head coach. He also came with fitness and condition coach.
Okay.
Yeah, kind of physical trainer. A fitness and condition coach.
Okay.
Your friend, I think, in Tiamwa, and the first name is Ghanaian.
Okay.
He lives in Hamburg. He has worked with a number of German clubs. He's very much exposed, and he is also one of the coaches. And then there is also another fitness coach who is based in Ghana, Ricky Roy Romeo, who has been with the team. Francis Bugri is an ex player. He played in Germany. He got injured very early. He veered into coaching. On the Otto Anantia. I think they are inseparable. We back with you and everywhere Otto has been, he goes with him. Francis was part of the technical team that worked for us to qualify for the World Cup against Nigeria when Otto came in as a stopgap coach.
Very well.
And then once he is coming back, he feels he has a lot to contribute in terms of Those are the key way nipa enomo adwuma.
But Henry Samonson, why in the year the team manager of the team now, equipment officer, Nina Yenti Wasem, and I say John Pinton as team manager.
From the team we sent to Cote d'Ivoire, I think there have been about 4 changes. 4 changes to the backroom staff. Dr. Pambo is still around.
Okay.
Suleiman Azampane and Daniel Yankee are still around. Unfortunately, there was a decision to replace one of the officials, Dr. Jonathan Kote. And then also there was a decision to replace one of the foreign officials. I think we sent about three foreign officials to the AFCON as we speak. Only one is with the team. And withdrew. I think Faustin or French. We sent him to the AFCON because players, some of the players had worked with him in France, and all my Dinoa dance here, Penifo decided here in the account. And then aside that, I think we also sent one Dutch physio. Who was also recommended by Kudus to the AFCON. He is not also part of us at this moment. From the size of the technical team, the core,
Ivory Coast,
how do you call it? Cote d'Ivoire, no, but I think the core of us,
okay, so the only technical.
Even though there have been some replacements in 1 or 2 positions.
Team manager, why the team manager for the Blackstars now?
Aminu retained his position.
Aminu Shadow, okay, very well. I know Nana Pese or claim Aminafi. And how many debutants in a film this time around? No mobile, my initiative, I mean, say, I know a part of my routine, somebody bringing you more closer to each other at the same.
The last time I spoke to the coach on initiation, Okase Obeyano Saturday after the Nigeria match, and that is the plan. Ubisa about debutants, I think that Osman Ibrahim is a debutant. No, not as in debutant as in playing, but maybe a new player. Because Obitise Abdullah Nuruddin, this is not the first time Waba team, but Onye be more than new players, Osman Ibrahim, Otoko goalkeeper Frederick Asari, Francis Abu, Fosen Amankwa, and then Ebenezer Annan. Omuna Omuye, I think the new players. Aside that, Osman Bukari, Edbon Ado, Jerome Opoku, Baba Idrisu, Tariq Lamte, Lawrence Atizigi, Andre Ayu, Jordan Ayu, Kasim Nuhu, Antoine Semenyo, Abdul Samet Salis, Patrick Godzo, Ali Duseidu, Joseph Wolacott, Fatah Ishahaku, Dennis Odoi, and Estuniama. Omunyina have been in and out of the team.
Okay, Harry, and Chameno better wrap it up. Sa game ya boy. Agents been a putting it together, and I say if you know a year, what does the FA stand to gain after this particular year friendly Samobo? One more fun day, and I say abandoning a year, and I say agency been a year na federation in Faso saying.
For every international friendly, there is always an agent who will make a proposal. Unless the country has the capacity to organize. For instance, say Algeria formra na I remember I mentioned to you the other day one of the reasons that delayed the announcement of these 2 matches now was because the Algerians had also written to us of France and now impending for putting 1 and 2 together to see how it would go. Eventually we settled on Nigeria and Uganda. Yes, there is an agency that approached us with the 2 games. But once an agency approaches you with the 2 games, there are certain conditions you have to meet with FIFA. The conditions hereby, match venue, you have to say, you need to notify FIFA. host federation, I was will notify them. In this case, the Moroccan Football Federation. You need to notify them. Omuna also referees for the game. Omuna also provide security for the game. Omuna also provide approval venue for the game. Omuna also provide training facilities for the game. Into we are. Then you notify FIFA. There is a form you have to fill for FIFA to approve the game as a FIFA-sanctioned international friendly match.
Okay.
After you have gone through all these processes, then FIFA would approve the game. The rest of the discussion is between any agency. In this case, Ghana and the agency have agreed. Say, match some proceeds from the gate. We will share the revenue.
Okay.
There is no cash inflow coming to Ghana. We were say Argentina cash inflow behind mana still our committee say. The reason is that if you do not maximize this opportunity and it slips through your fingers, you will not be able to play any friendly match until June when we play the World Cup qualifiers.
Okay.
Withdrew Casablanca. Yes, the Tina flight Muba Marrakesh. Yani Malifon and I were the same flight. And I see our players need be any technical staff. And on the flight, we had fun. I catch home say about the show almost say it was fun. So even Mali are here.
Okay.
Not only Ghana, Uganda. I also know that Sudan is also here. And, the longer short of the story is that it is a game that is being fully funded by the FA. We are not making any money from these two friendlies, but we think that even if there is no financial benefit, there is a lot of sporting benefits, which is why we agreed to play the matches.
Very well. Very well. I say a man for Bebana gate proceed near Chenepena Yetimia. Time of the match, no time being.
At this point, Morocco and Ghana are the same time. Since I'm not say I'm saying my clock is exactly 7 a.m. here. And I'm sure it's 7 a.m. So
exactly. I'm.
Yeah. In the 4 p.m. Kickoff time, which is the same in Ghana.
The same in Ghana. Very well. Me, Jao, I mean, Bibi, I mean, Miss our person, they come who are important to this discussion. For come home, I mean, I feel you wrap up now or other interesting idea. I be saying at us so.
Well, good. I want to say that we are very much aware of the expectations of Ghanaians. What it is that Blackstars, once is your A national team, you always want to get to the top. You call AFCON, disappointed Ghana for baby. At the end of the day, we are on a new course. There is a new technical team in place. The new technical team is led by Otto. It doesn't matter where he comes from, who he is, his race, his family, his ethnic group, whatsoever. What I plead or I am calling for is you may not agree with what he does and what he stands for, but once he is our leader, you need to support him wholeheartedly. We are on a rebuilding exercise. On this journey, there will be failures, there will be disappointments. On this journey, there will be a lot of heart-wrenching moments and heartbreaks. But the common goal is to make Ghana strong again. It will not be easy. It will not be rosy. But regardless, Yari Tasu say, when be a first wife, I'm a team, no. I found into my fairness in that diamond. And the journey begins from tomorrow in this friendly against Nigeria, and then of course next week against Uganda. Once we're done with those, then we'll focus on the future.
Henry Asante Chum, still the communication director of the federation. And ope ye beda wase pa enkomo bebre we chire oba ye beto ebo ase na yetumi adi. Still the communication director of the FA. Okay. I was for anti yako Morocco Marrakesh na yakodi nkomo the FA Henry Asante Chum and I say ye no timi edi nkomo at length as far as ye in Blackstars game no concern. Fire I'm say Henry ye besi on afi.